Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, Channel Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing what? Previously, we got super suspicious of God. We got the stuff off his safe, found out he has Emma's fingerprints, got Gumshoe fired, got kicked out of the office. Now we're talking to Lana. Lana is basically confirming our suspicions, and now she's giving us detail. And that is where we left off. So let us continue interrogating her, questioning her, confirming our suspicions. Dark's Kniff. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So you're telling me this? We're having this conversation with your back turned to me, okay? So you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. Are these like spinny chairs? To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received these orders from Chief Gaunt, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at this time. However, it seemed that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die, he's decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seemed he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm back to talking to the back of your head. Wonderful. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demands. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Nope. February 20. I swear they said these things had to be done in 3 days. And I'm pretty sure this is what, the 4th day? I could be wrong with my days. But okay, yep. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma? For that matter. It must seem as if something's been happening behind the scene. Is what Edgeworth has said. Hi, Edgy. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason the trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. That number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't officially been charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here. To hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something. And the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. And the truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gaunt has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gaunt? Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, G. Been back to the pool yet? No. I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What is this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman. In the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No! Lana!
Objection!
You can't. I didn't spend all these episodes defending your ass just for you to come up here and confess to bullshit. Your Honor, the defendant claim does not change the defendant's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your service. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Prosecution may lack direct evidence against me. Can you turn around? You can't just turn around, Lana. But it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Thank you, Edgeworth. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With a sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal?
Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hears her testimony. Oh, she didn't get to have a thing? Hold it, if you will. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. And that's okay with you, right, Chief Gaunt? Worthy. You'll live to regret this, mark my words.
Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is that correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It's an incident is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago. Really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is. But you haven't been following the evidence, Judge. Everything has been because of things that happened 2 years ago. Look at the evidence. Look at it. It's not a coincidence.
Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip 2 years has finally begun. The trip 2 years the trip to yesterday. I don't know why I keep wanting to say years. The trip to yesterday has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago, I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in the instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Itchy nose.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You got to admit, you have to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Great, so I've got to push everything? Alright.
Hold it!
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under the deputy chief of police, Scott. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember.
Deputy Chief Gaunt and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing the organ. I wanted to play it that day too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. Man came running in.
Hold it!
A man. Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw the chance, he fled to the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. And he ran into Sky and Gaunt's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gaunt and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gaunt. Neil Marshall, who had just received the King of Prosecutor Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. Where was Gaunt during all this?
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights.
It was just about this time of year. There's a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then, lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detectives what I saw then.
The detectives?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim? Hear more.
So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture?
Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture.
This picture, the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection!
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once.
You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could do to help that investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps this witness is mistaken?
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
Well, anyways, let's continue. This scene... Oh, great. Now I gotta check the evidence.
I can't read the evidence. I was hoping I'd be able to read the evidence list and see if there's a picture on there. Did she draw it in blood? This scene that's imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man. He raised up his knife.
Excuse me.
He raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
Hold it!
That must have been a shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at this moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
The lightning struck, and the lights went out. Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, and I was thrown aside, and the two began wrestling each other.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have a reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me more about this as she can. Okay, well, we'll end this episode here. I think maybe the picture of Lana stabbing Goodman might be the thing or something like that, because it's like similar to the situation that she drew. You know? But we shall see in the next episode. Till then, see you next time.